PM Narendra Modi or Rahul Gandhi will not decide the future of my country. It's 1.48 billion of population, ladies and gentlemen. It's the blood shed by Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev, and it's the constitution of my India, which starts with we the people of India and not with we the state of India or we the Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, Haryana, Himachal of India. From the ruins of Nazi Germany to the fall of Soviet Union, history whispers same warning again and again and again and again, that a strong state may command the army, but it cannot command love. Strong state may conquer the land, but it cannot conquer the hearts. A very cheerful and enthusiastic good afternoon to everyone. Today I, Tanvi Sharma, stand here not to praise the power, but to protect the freedom. A nation does not build in the shadow of authority. Nation rises in the light of equality, morality, and participation. Respected jury members and my learned friends, let me tell you that the phrase strong states build strong nation sounds very persuasive in the beginning, very poetic. In fact, who doesn't wish for a very strong, decisive state? But if we look deeper into the politics, history, and constitutional morality, we get to know that strong state doesn't build strong nation. In fact, an overly powerful state can ruin or can destroy the very spirit of nationhood. Let's begin with an illusion that power is equal to unity. Ladies and gentlemen, a strong state can enforce the obedience from the people, but strong state cannot command the feeling of belongingness in the people. A strong state can control its people, but cannot unite its people. The preamble of the Indian Constitution starts with we the people of India having solemnly resolved constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. The word sovereignty. The sovereignty lies in the people but not in the apparatus of the government. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the father of the Indian Constitution, have highlighted he was against the tyranny of the state. He was against the arbitrary role of the state. And he highlighted the very essence of the Indian Constitution, that is democracy, which stand tall on the idea of rule of law, separation of power, decentralization, coordination, and dialogue. For the convenience of everyone sitting here, let me highlight certain historical events which proves that strong state destroys the strong nation. I'll talk about a very classical example from the international politics, that is the disintegration of Soviet Union in the year of 1991. The world politics, the entire world was looking at bipolarity. What was the reason behind the disintegration of Soviet Union? The reason was the very states including Russia, Ukraine, Belarus and many more states, what feeling was developed within them? They felt that they are socially, they are economically, they are politically, culturally self-sufficient and there is no need to stay together. I have plethora of facts that I could quote here. Nazi Germany, fascist Italy, these are such authoritarian states who destroy their own nation just for the feeling of expansionism with the lots of atrocities. I have many more facts to talk about here. That is the separation of Catalonia from the Spain in the year of 2017. Let me give a little economic dimension or just economic angle to my debate, that India is a country of economic disparities. When we compare the GDPs of the southern countries with lots of northern and the eastern countries, northern states of India, we get to know that the economic disparities still exist in our country, and this will give rise to rich states versus poor state debate. And I personally believe that economic disparities gave rise to alienation rather than nationhood. It's very strange that my competitors are supporting the motion that strong state builds strong nation when they have strong, evident, practical examples right in front of them. Me belonging to the Dogra community of Jammu and Kashmir, I will not hesitate even a single time to say this fact, that how power was misused before the abrogation of Article 370. No matter how much they support the motion that strong states build a strong nation, respected jury members, I will not forget the recent Pahalgam attack in which 26 innocents lost their life. And I will not hesitate to even say this, that if the politicians, if the administrators of Jammu and Kashmir had the power to manage their security forces independently, then the politicians and authoritarians or the administrators who are sympathetic towards the separatists, they could have stopped the action of nation. They could have stopped the action of nation. No matter how much facts they will quote here, but I will not forget about the tragedies that India has experienced from last 70 years, 78 years. If you're talking about that strong states can build strong nations, I want to quote, or I would like to highlight, that I think that you are not aware about the Khalistani movement in the year of 1980s, how Punjab has experienced, how the things were changed there. If you are saying that strong states build strong nation, I think you are not aware about the recent parliamentary discussion over the northeastern states who are continuously demanding for separate status, more autonomy, more power. Considering the social impacts also, a strong state will overshadow the civil society, NGOs, and also the local governance. India is a country which believes India is a country which believes in bottom up approach, which means it is not ready to give maximum power to the state, not in the context that uh, that that this could give rise to the feeling of nationalism amongst the communities, but also towards my concluding point, I would say that where the roots quarrel, the trees cannot stand still, and the walls that are made with force falls eventually, but the bridges that are made with trust endure forever. Thank you so much.
Greetings. Excellent speech. I would like to highlight the point that you have mentioned that B.R. Ambedkar was a person who did caution against excessive centralization, right? But do you also not believe that he was also the same man who argued for a United States of India, in fact? Was he not the same person who actually promulgated the idea that there needs to be states? And if we are discussing the Constituent Assembly at all, why are we even limiting ourselves to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Were there not other very big geniuses who did in fact realize that excessive centralization could lead to a sense of alienation within the communities?
I appreciate your question. The Indian Constitution took about 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days to be formulated. So, on the board or on the grounds of the debates that were made in the Constituent Assembly, you are talking about that he was also the supporter of the Union of India. Then I would like to ask you one question, that what is the reason of joining the Article 1 in the Indian Constitution, which states that India shall be a union of state and no state shall have the right to secede from the India? I hope I'll continue with my answer only. So I'll not be asking a question to you. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So uh, I personally believe that the reason why I quoted that B.R. Ambedkar played an important role, or why I'm talking about, why I took the example of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So considering your point that he was the father of the Indian Constitution, and when the deliberations in the Constituent Assembly was made, so there was so much ideas that were put in front of the Constituent Assembly, but the provisions that continue still today is what is the living vision of the founding fathers of the Indian Constitution. And as you have said, that Union of India, uh, uh, I'm sorry, I don't want to